As you heard in the news on Saturday of the August-long weekend, 2 Manitobans died in separate drownings. One of the deaths occurred in Reynolds Ponds, just east of Winnipeg. RCMP say a 70-year-old man was swimming and didn't resurface. The other death happened later that same day after a 25-year-old man fell off a pool flotation device in Lake Winnipeg and drowned. Police say both men were not wearing life jackets. According to the Life Saving Society, water-related deaths have been on the rise in Manitoba since 2019. And although it's a concerning trend, Winnipegger Rishona Hyman says it's one that can be changed. She's a swim instructor and the founder of Swim With Me, a nonprofit that teaches kids how to swim for free. And Rishona joins us now in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So as a swimming instructor, what's your reaction when you hear stories like this one?
Every time I hear a story like this, I feel like a piece of me breaks a little bit more. This is actually why the Swim With Me Foundation started in the first place, was with the idea to completely prevent drownings. They're 100% preventable, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. My heart goes out to the families and friends affected by these 2 drownings this past weekend.
And Swim With Me, it's dedicated to teaching kids to swim for free. So
it's actually
we've
actually
expanded?
Yes, it has expanded.
Okay.
We are now also teaching adults as well. There's a large need in Manitoba for adults who don't know how to swim, so that we can prevent drownings just like these 2.
Is that something that you saw more of a need for as you kind of continued in your foundation?
Yes, I think as the landscape of Manitoba has changed and we've welcomed more newcomers and more people have openly admitted that they never got the opportunity to take swimming lessons as a child, we have worked with those changes and adapted and now opened it up to being able to offer adults swimming lessons.
Now, these 2 drownings took place in large open bodies of water. They weren't in pools. What are some things that you find that people might take for granted when it comes to swimming in a pond or a lake?
I think the big thing is it doesn't have any walls or a bottom. You can't always touch and you can't see. So people think that, I can go in the water and I can walk, or I've been in a swimming pool and therefore I know how to swim. And that's not the case. We spend a lot of time, whether it be through the foundation or through my other swim academy hat that I wear, that explaining to families and to kids and to whoever comes through our doors that just because you've taken a swimming lesson doesn't mean you actually know how to swim. We work with them very carefully. We do a lot of water safety in both programs. We put them through the Life Saving Society's Swim to Survive standards with the foundation. And we actually say, is there anyone in your family that can swim? If they say no, we say they can't take you swimming. You need to be with someone that knows how to swim, and you need to be wearing a life jacket. We're really clear on what that looks like. And I think that I think the general public isn't aware of that, and people don't know their limits. And it's really important when you go into open bodies of water that you remember 3 very important things. You need to go with a buddy. And that includes letting somebody know where you're going. It also includes knowing your limits and wearing a life jacket. It's pretty simple. And yet here we are again discussing 2 tragedies that could have been preventable.
I think a lot of Manitobans who go to beaches, who go to ponds, who are swimming in these open bodies of water, I know I don't see a lot of life jackets in these spaces. Why do you think that people are still reluctant to buy or own or use life jackets in these scenarios?
Life jackets are bulky. They're cumbersome. They're not so fashionable. We like to say that they are, the best accessory you will ever wear in the water. And we see it all the time. I mean, you look at your social media feeds of people out enjoying summer. Most of them are not wearing life jackets. And it hurts me every single time that we see this. It's something so simple to put it on, and you can't help the person that you're with if you get injured. You can't help yourself. In all the drownings that took place in Manitoba between 2018 and 2022, not one of them was wearing a life jacket.
What do you say to folks who might think, I know how to swim. I've been swimming my whole life. Why should I have a life jacket?
Um, Again, I think we just need to make the point that, if something were to happen to you, if you were to get injured, if you were to gasp for air, if you breathe in some water, if you get turned around in a lake or something happens, and it can happen quickly. And I do hear from people who have cottages and they boat and lake all summer and they do all these things, and suddenly something happens and they say, we should have been wearing that life jacket, or, now we know. It's not enough to just have it at your feet. If the boat tips over, or you get thrown from a boat, or the wind picks up and your flotation device goes ahead of you and you're not wearing anything, there's no ground, there's no wall to hold on to. You need that life jacket to keep you buoyant and to keep you safe.
And you've been thinking about legislation around open bodies of water and swimming. What does that look like in your mind?
Listen, I think it needs to be a partnership. I think it needs to bring lots of people to the table, but I think it can include things like having life jacket stands at beaches where people can easily wear them. I think it means laws. I think it means actually policing, going out and monitoring the people and saying you need to be in a life jacket, or, put your life jacket on any watercraft. Like, that includes flotation devices, that includes stand-up paddleboards, canoes, all these smaller watercrafts that people think that they don't need to wear life jackets on, but tragedies occur in all of those instances regularly. I think it also includes getting the government involved and having schools working and getting their swimmers to the pool. I know that through the foundation, we have altered things that we've done a little bit and piloted some projects where we're working with schools that meet the needs of the foundation. So the foundation offers free swimming lessons to kids that can't afford it and those new to the country. There are a number of schools that fit that criteria, and we've been working with those schools to bring the students during the day, and it has been incredible on both ends. Like, the staff are raving about it, the principals are thrilled, the kids are over the moon, and you can just see their confidence. Everyone wants to enjoy summer. It's so short here, but they need to do it safely.
Is there enough swimming instructors or lifeguards or folks to make sure that these types of programs can happen here in Manitoba?
I believe there are. Yes, we all hear about shortages and pool closures and all those things, but there is being a lifeguard and a swim instructor is a great job. It is. I can't say enough about it. Obviously, I'm in the industry, but it is a great part-time job. It's even a great full-time career, and I think that there are a lot of young people that want to get into it. It offers, set hours. It's great for while they're in school. It teaches lots of great life skills and transferable skills for other professions down the road. And I think that Manitoba has lots and lots and lots of people in this industry that are ready to get their feet wet and help out.
Summer isn't over. There's lots of time here for Manitobans to spend in and around bodies of water. What do you want people to keep in mind? What's the one thing that folks should be thinking about as they are spending the summer in and around the water?
My message to adults is that I think you need to remember that you're role models. You're leaders and you're role models in your families and in your communities. And if you are wearing a life jacket, you are more likely to have your family members, your younger kids, cousins, friends wearing them as well. I know at Aqua Essence Swim Academy, we tell all of our swim staff that if we learn over the summer that you were out in the water without a life jacket, you no longer have a job here. It is that simple. You are a role model. You are a teacher. You need to practice what you preach.
How do they respond to that?
Listen, they teach it,
Yeah.
right? Like, you're held to a different standard. You spend all year teaching kids and families about water safety. If you're not putting that into action yourselves when you're out enjoying the water, you're not sharing that message, and it's not a good look. And I think that parents, it's like bike helmets or seatbelts in cars. I think that life jackets need to be a mandatory thing. And I think if more adults are wearing them and they put them on. I mean, how many boating pictures do we see where the kids are all wearing life jackets and the adults are sitting next to them without them? If something happens, they are helpless to their kids.
Rishona, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Rishona Hyman is a swim instructor and the founder of Swim With Me.